Hey my toy and book friends, today I am going to show you all of these spooky YA and young reader vintage books that I've picked up recently. It's a lot. Most of these came from summer and then a few recent finds, so I hope you'll stick with me and see all of this wonderful nostalgia. I want to go ahead and apologize for the lighting. I've got my box light over here. We've got some bad weather rolling in, which is kind of perfect for scary books. But yeah, that's why it kind of looks like I've got a spotlight on me, because I kind of do. So anyway, let's get started. So there is a whole lot of R.L. Stine in my pile here. You're going to hear that a lot. But up first, I've got this Sabrina the Teenage Witch book. This one is Halloween Havoc, so I might have to read this for Halloween. It's number 4 in the Sabrina series. So picked that up. Let's see. It is... looks like it's a first printing from October 1997. Then I also have this one, Salem's Tales. Salem Goes to Rome. I love Salem. I love Salem so much. There's an Instagram page I follow that's just Salem memes. And if you look, there's like a little flipperama in the corner of Salem. So this one doesn't have a number. October 1998, so they're right there together. Scooby-Dooby-Doo and the Haunted Castle. And this one's from 98 as well, so. I found this Teddy Scares guidebook. So I only have one Teddy Scares, and it's a very small one, and that one is my Madeline Macabre Dolls teddy bear. It's, I think he's in here. It's the one with the sewn-up mouth. Anyway, if you look this up, if you haven't heard of it, it's a very short-lived line of like dark teddy bears. And honestly, I hadn't heard of them till I found the one that Madeline has, and it's, like I said, it's just a little keychain. But then later on I found the guidebook, and I really like it. So maybe I'll find more. That's kind of a niche thing to collect. Okay, so a few, 2 of these are Fear Street. One of them is not. It's just, I think this was a point horror overseas, but I don't think it was a point here. There was R.L. Stine's Hit and Run. I actually have read this one. I had it before, and I donated it before I was really collecting these kind of books, so I'm glad to have it back. It was $1. Maybe it was half off. I don't know. The most I paid for it was $1. Okay, and then we've got Fear Street College Weekend. Never read this one. This is Nightmare Weekend. This one doesn't have a number, so I don't know if Fear Streets are numbered. I've never read Fear Street, so that's something I would like to start. And then this one is a super chiller, and it is in very nice condition. This one is Cheerleaders, The New Evil, and it says Season's Greetings, The Evil is Back. It's got like a Christmas vibe, so I might have to read this one for Christmas too. I need to start pulling these and like planning for reading, doing like these thematic holiday reads. This one is by Linda Cargill. It is The Surfer. And like I said, this one, you know, it may have been a point horror over in the UK, but over here it's just marked thriller. I believe there was point horror in the US as well. I'm not really an expert on that. Okay, and then we've got this Lois Duncan edited Night Terror, Stories of Shadow and Substance. So I picked that up. Original short stories, and it names all these authors. No one that I recognize, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be good. I've heard Cameron talk about these Lois Duncan books over on the Library Macabre channel. So if this is your vibe and you're not watching Library Macabre, you should really check it out. Macabre, however you say it. Okay, Bites of Fate Worse Than Death and More Fright with a Bite. Something about a vampire. I don't know. It was 90s. It was YA. Let's see what year. Alan B. Urey. This is 1996, RGA Publishing. Don't know anything about it, but I figured I'd pick it up. Okay, got a hardcover. Not too many of those in this lot here. It's a hardcover copy of Frankenweenie. This is for, I believe, more of your middle grade, a little bit older readers, just because it's not illustrated, but I love that the pages are black. You see, like, you know, you'll have a very small illustration like this, but this is not like an illustrated children's book. It's more of a chapter book. So excited to have that. We love Frank and Weenie in this house, and I feel like it's a great exploration of grief for young children if your children can handle it. I mean, it's not for everybody, and I get that, but for me personally, I appreciate Frank and Weenie for what it is. I feel like it opens up a conversation with your kids about grief. So if you're wanting to talk to your children about grief and you feel like they can handle Frank and Weenie, maybe watch it for yourself and decide, that would be a good place to start, I feel. Also, Lauren the Mortician recommended Hocus Pocus because of the scene at the end where Thackeray and his sister go off. That's also a nice sentiment. If you're into it, you know, religion factors is what you believe and what you want to share with your children. But if you're kind of struggling for how to talk to your children about grief, that's a good way to start, I think. The Halloween Pumpkin, I think I found this in a library sale. Yeah, that's awesome. Don't have those anymore. 1976. So yeah, I thought this would be a fun one to read with my kids. It looks pretty cute. So we'll check that out, see what it's about. Okay, I got 2 of the Strange Matter books. And this one is The Weird Weird West, and this one is Fly the Unfriendly Skies. This one's number 7, and this one is number 16. So I don't see these too often. I see Goosebumps more than any of these other series that I'm going to show you. So I was excited to find these. They're also, I think I saw those on Cameron's channel too. As well as these, The Fright Times. I was very excited for these. So we've got nope, these aren't numbered. They just have 3 spine-tingling tales. So this one has Forest of Fear, Ghost Twin, and Something's in the Sewer. And then this one says Madman on Main Street, Scary Harry, and It's Almost Dark. And the covers remind me, like I also collect Nancy Drew books. The covers remind me of Nancy Drew, like that kind of art style. And we got 2 in the Bunnicula series. The first one is Nighty Nightmare. This is a Avon Camelot paperback. And it is from 1987 or 1988. Okay, I think this was printed in 88 and the story's from 87. So yeah, me and Bryson have been reading Bunnicula. Actually, we're reading Bunnicula Strikes Back right now. And then we've got Tales from the House of Bunnicula, Invasion of the Mind Swappers from Asteroid 6. This is an extra library. I think I also got this one from the library sale. Okay. Here is a Ghosts of Fear Street. This is Who's Been Sleeping in My Grave. It is Ghosts of Fear Street number 2. Love that cover. Love that hot pink. And then this Ghosts of Fear Street, it is Creepy Collection number 1, Happy Hauntings, and it's a Parachute Press. Now this one, because of the artwork, I thought it was newer, and then when I looked, copyright 95, published 96, no, published 98. So it's from the 90s. It's just that artwork threw me off. I thought it was a much newer book, so that's cool. Also found this RL sign, The Haunted Lighthouse, and this one is from SeaWorld and Busch Gardens. It's also a parachute. I don't know anything about this. I don't know if it's like a tie-in to a ride or like a motion theater experience. I don't know. So if you know anything about the Haunted Lighthouse at SeaWorld or Busch Gardens, let me know. I would love to know what this came from. This one's actually from 2003, but because I had never seen it or had never heard of it, I picked it up. I thought it was kind of a weird thing. So let's see. This is a penguin. It just says Witch's Fire. Is Kirsty's house possessed by a witch? Great cover. I picked it up. I believe this one's from the 90s as well. It is from 1994. So I'd never heard of that. We love a vintage young reader horror book, so of course I picked it up. Also, A Ghost in the Window. The ghost has a mystery for Meg to solve. Though this looked like a Babysitter's Club book at first glance, but it's not. It's actually a Scholastic Apple. So I don't know anything about it. Again, Betty Wren Wright, author of the Dollhouse Murders. So that sounds great. Let's see here, 1987. So yeah, I figured I'd give it a go. You know, these little short books like this are perfect if you're in a reading slump, or if you just want to read something quickly, or if you want to read something with your kids. You know, if they can handle it. You know, some of these things are spooky, scary. Maybe your kids are more into more horrific stuff. I don't know. Every family's different, but yeah. Clue number 2, the secret passage. And it's got all the characters on the back. I really want to rewatch the movie Clue. That's one I'd like to have on DVD. I don't purchase physical copies of movies unless I just really especially love them. But that's one I'd like to have, I think. 1992. That one is also a Scholastic. Okay, here's another Fright Time. I found this one later than the other two. So this has The White Phantom, Nightmare Neighbors, and Camp Fear. I hate that they're not numbered, so I don't know how many there are or where I'm at, but I got 3 of them. Okay, I was very, very excited for these. I saw these on Cameron's channel as well. These are the Deadtime series. Deadtime Stories. So I've got number 13, The Beast of Baskerville. I wonder if that's the same place the hounds came from. And then number 2, Invasion of the Appleheads. And if you know anything about antique dolls, you've probably seen the Applehead dolls. That's what they look like, and they're a little bit horrifying. This looks so scary. And then there is the Beast. He's not so terrifying, but I like monsters, so. Let's see, this one, 97. This one's a little bit older. It's earlier in the series. It's from 96, but I really, woo, that cover. If I was a kid, that would probably scare me, honestly. Okay, I got a whole mess of Goosebumps. Let's see here. We've got The Ghost Next Door, number 10. Stay Out of the Basement. We're actually reading this. Cami over at Cami's Corner is hosting a read-along on Instagram and also on Discord of all the Goosebumps. And this week, this is what we're reading. We read Welcome to Dead House last week. I skipped that one because I had already read it recently with one of my children. So I am reading this one right now, and it's something. I got 2 of The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. I needed a nicer copy of this one. I remember that. Okay, I got Ghost Beach. This was one that I could not get for the longest time. I mean, I know I could go online and buy it, but I really enjoyed thrifting all of my Goosebumps, and it's kind of a point of pride. And I just could not find this one, and it's not, I don't think it's that rare. It's just for some reason I found like all these, like ones that were only published under Parachute that are harder to get before I found this one. But I needed this one and this one to complete my set of the original run of Goosebumps. I'm still working on Choose Your Own Scare. I don't have all of those yet, but as far as like this series, I have them all now, and they are all maybe not first printings or original printings, but they are all from the 90s. So this one that I was looking for was number 57. My Best Friend is Invisible. I actually found this one before, and it was all colored up. It was such a busted copy, but I feel like that manifested this one, a nicer copy, because I bought the busted one and I was like, you know what, maybe I can use the cover in my art journal or something. So yeah, these are the ones I'm still working on, the You Choose the Scare. I don't think I had this one, Return to the Carnival of Horrors. You see this one is a Parachute. Awesome holographic cover, just amazing. This one's in really good shape too, so glad to have that one. And then this one is also Give Yourself Goosebumps. This must be a later style of artwork. You know, a little more Y2K-ish. Let's see. This one is from 99. So, yeah, this one is Escape from Horror House. I really like the way the house looks on that one. This is going to be a long one. I'm sorry. We've also got number 9, Welcome to Camp Nightmare. This is a pretty nice copy. Number 4, Say Cheese and Die. Okay, we got It Came from Ohio, My Life as a Writer. R.L. Stein as Told by Joe Author. This one is a Parachute. I already have this one in hardcover, so now I have it in paperback as well. That was very exciting. And then also this one, it's a shame that it's missing a chunk of the cover, but I was still glad to find it. So this is You Choose the Scare, number 18, Attack of the Beastly Babysitter. And look at this rat lady ringing the doorbell. I've never seen this one before. A lot of these choose your own scares, I haven't seen the covers because I've just never seen them. I didn't read them. So I don't know if they're not as well known or if they're harder to find. I don't know. I'm just trying to get them all. And then we have number 3, Trapped in Batwing Hall. Someone drew a star on the cover, but that's okay. It's just nice to have a copy. You know, if I find a nicer one later, this can be my reader copy. It's fine. I'm not a first edition pristine collector. I don't feel like putting in the energy for that. I just want a nice copy on my shelf. Here's another Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It is a blue Christmas until Sabrina saves the day. This one is Santa's Little Helper, and it is number 5. So I've got a Halloween Sabrina and a Christmas Sabrina to read. I was excited to find this one. It's Goosebumps Presents TV episode number 3, Welcome to Camp Nightmare. So it's got, you know, the images from the television show. I don't know that I have any of these Goosebumps Presents. I might have 1 or 2 more. I've got another couple that I found with this one. So somebody donated their collection, and I just happened to be there right at the same time to find them before they got cleaned out, because I know there's other people in my community that are buying up Stephen King's Goosebumps, things like that. And I don't blame them. I mean, I collect that stuff too, and I certainly don't look at it as like a competition. I feel like you limit yourself, and that boxes you in to be greedy and bitter when you have that mindset. I look at it like there's enough for everybody. I have managed to thrift all of these and more. You know, pretty much my whole collection has been thrifted or bought at my local used bookstore. Except for my Stephen King Hodders, I had to get them all online because they came from the UK. But for the most part, you know, I have found these. It's taken years, but, you know, a little bit at a time. It's out there to be found. Just be patient. You know, don't look at it like us versus them, because Lord knows in this country that mindset has gotten us into a lot of trouble already. We're all in this together. Anyway, TV book number 13, Ghost Beach. Excited for that one. This one's also a parachute. And the reason I point out parachutes is because that's R.L. Stine's company. And then Scholastic, I don't know how to phrase it. I don't think they bought the rights, but Scholastic published, and that was obviously the larger publisher that the Goosebumps was published under, but Parachute is more independent. That was R.L. Stine's company. So it's worth noting when it's a parachute and when it's not. And this is TV book number 7, The Headless Ghost. So I have that one. And then I also have The Girl Who Cried Monster. And who could forget this guy on the cover here? And I want to say he was a librarian. Anyway, this is TV episode number 1. So yeah, I got a bunch of the TV books. We also have number 34, Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes. We have number 45, Ghost Camp. Number 12, Be Careful What You Wish For. I know this is one I was looking for a long time as well, and I don't think it's that rare either. It's funny which ones you find and which ones you don't. I found this Scary Stories for Stormy Nights. This was, you know, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark adjacent. R.C. Welch is the author, and it came out in 95. I had so many books like this, like I can barely remember which ones I had and which ones I didn't have. I don't think I had this one specifically, but I had one with similar artwork that may have been from the same series. I can't remember, but I'm excited to read this. Love a good scary story, especially if it's for children and it's not that horrific. I won't have nightmares. I just found this one this weekend. It's a Disney Adventures. It's Case Busters Backstage with a Ghost. So I was excited for that. I don't think I have any Disney Adventures books. I might. I don't think I do, though. Okay, and I've also got The Magic School Bus Goes Batty or Going Batty. That's fun. I remember this episode. I remember watching it when I was a kid on PBS. That's from 1996, so... And then also, this one's a classic, The Vanishing Pumpkin, illustrated by Tommy De Paola? I don't know how you say it. This one, the copyright's from 1983. It looks like that might... Oh, this one's from 1992. So, still. I remember this one from when I was a kid. I just, you know. This gentleman that did the artwork, he is just iconic. He's done so many children's books that are just... you know, they were so big growing up in the 90s in the early 90s. Those books were very popular. I got 2 of these, I'm not even sure what to call them. I also have the Time Life books for grown-ups that are kind of the same vein, but I got this one on Psychics. These are Edge books, and this one on ESP. Capstone Press. The series is called The Unexplained, and I guess each one is about a different subject. Like I said, I have the Time Life books that are like this. I don't have all of them, but I have quite a few, and I thrifted those as well. The last book I got this weekend, I was very excited. I'm actually looking for a copy from when I was a kid for the artwork, but I was still happy to find it because I haven't found that yet. It's In a Dark, Dark Room by Alvin Schwartz. So many great stories. My favorite one is The Green Ribbon. If you know, you know. And leave me a comment and let me know if you want me to read scary stories on this channel. Like children's scary stories. I would love that. Oh, the sun's coming back out. That's awesome. Just as we're getting near the end. I also picked this Goosebumps postcard book up just last week. How cool. It is. I don't know if they're all in here, but it looks like most of them are. It looks like we're missing one. That's probably Welcome to Dead House because it's purple. But it's the covers on postcards. How awesome is that? I was so excited. I don't know. I can't even say a favorite cover, but I do love the Egg Monsters from Mars cover. I remember reading that book on the bus. See, I grew up in a little town, and it was rural, and I was on the school bus for a long time each day, and I could get through most of a Goosebumps book on the bus ride. And then I've got a couple of DVDs here too. I've got 2 seasons of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the 4th and 5th season, so I'm excited for that. I loved this show. I loved that, and Buffy, obviously. Raise your hands if you're right there with me. And then I found Courage the Cowardly Dog on DVD. This is season 3, so I'd love to find more of this, and I can't wait to show my kids this. Yeah. Woo! Okay, that was all the scary, spooky, young readers, children's, vintage, horror books. I think that's what what I should call it. I don't know. Let me know what you liked, what you thought. Do you read this kind of book? Do you collect this kind of book? Let me know. Let's have a conversation down in the comments. And just so you know, the world's a better place with you here in it, and you matter, and I need you to stay, okay? The world is a better place. If you're going through something, just keep on going, baby. We're going to get through it. All right? I like you just the way you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!